I'm not bringing up any dirt. Like I said, I'm just responding to what he's saying, but I'm only here for Amarella. So that's the only reason why I'm here. I'm not here to bring up dirt.
I'm only here because I got doubt.
I'm not here to bring up what he's done to me. I've been hurt.
I got doubt.
But regardless, Amarella's his.
Look at
and I want to prove that to him.
Look at everything you've done. Why would I have doubt?
Oh, you just said, okay. You didn't come to him and say, I want to tell you that there could potentially be two.
There is no potential. He's the only one. As I stated, May 2014, when I got with him again, as in, let's work it out, we were planning to have a child because I wanted a boy. So why would I sleep around with other people?
I used to work every day. I had to keep my car every day. No, I worked at the school. I let her use my daddy's car every day. My daddy just died.
I didn't use your car. I didn't use that car.
My son was so upset, he sat there and cried because nobody came to his birthday party.
He wasn't upset that I didn't come. He was upset that his cousins didn't come from Florida. It had nothing to do with it. His cousins in Florida that he doesn't see a lot. That's where it was at.
Imagine being together for 8 years, only to break up because your partner refuses to acknowledge your 1-year-old child, then ending up in court armed with receipts, screenshots, and even a story about climbing out a window. That's exactly where Miss Hale and Mr. Andrews find themselves. She insists he's the father of little Amarillo, and she's prepared to prove it. He counters with claims of infidelity. The tension, immediate. You can practically see Judge Lake lean forward, ready for the chaos to unfold.
Ms. Hadel, after 8 years off and on with the defendant, the two of you called it quits just 3 months ago because he denies your 1-year-old daughter, Amarella. Now, you want to prove to him that he is her biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Andrews, you say you can't trust Ms. Hadel because she's a serial cheater, and you are 100% certain that Amarella's not your daughter.
Ms. Hale begins by explaining their turbulent on-again, off-again relationship, which included a move to Kansas in hopes of leaving the drama behind. She admits her doubt first surfaced when Amarillo didn't quite resemble their other child. The look on her face says it all. She wants recognition for her daughter, but she's bracing herself for rejection all over again. Things deteriorate fast.
I moved to Kansas and got away from him. We then started our relationship back, and I had planned on having another child with him. So I did get pregnant. Amarella came, and I think the doubts came because she looks different than our other child.
Then Mr. Andrews steps up with an exhibit full of intimate text messages. He's convinced they're from a man Ms. Hale had previously been involved with. The implication is obvious. He believes that man is Amarillo's father. The room gets quiet, thick with tension. Ms. Hale doesn't deny the nature of the messages. She even acknowledges they were likely sexual. Talk about messy.
Father, you saw sexual text messages from another man. Is that correct?
Correct.
Explain.
The same person who I see was text message from, the same guy who she was having an affair with all along from the whole get-go. So when I seen that text message, my whole thought process was, it's gotta be his baby.
And then the story takes a wild turn. Ms. Hale admits she climbed out a window at 3 a.m. Judge Lake can't help cracking a Wonder Woman joke because who does that? Ms. Hale says the front door was blocked and she needed comfort elsewhere. Her expression is defiant. Mr. Andrews looks almost satisfied. It's a moment.
She leave the house every time. It's always when a private car come or it's after 3 a.m. That's the only time he able to get away from his wife, so-called.
What?
It was that's it.
Wait a minute. So she gets a private call.
Right.
Then she leaves the house.
Right.
And it's 3 a.m.
Right.
How are you getting up at 3 a.m. and leaving the house?
Finally, the timeline comes together. In May 2014, she tells Maurice everything. He returns to Kansas, they reconcile, and decide to try for a boy. That's when Amarillo is conceived. She insists she was faithful during that period. Judge Lake scans the room with that look, the one that says, we'd better all be on the same page here.
And told him if he wants to make it work, we're gonna make it work. And he came back to Kansas and we conceived Amarella. We were trying for a boy and I wasn't cheating. I stopped. I'd being faithful and trying to be a good woman to him.
How were you being a good woman? And look, I'm not saying he was perfect either, because I'm getting to you next.
And then comes the car condom revelation. Mr. Andrews claims he found a used condom in the vehicle. Ms. Hale fires back immediately, saying the condoms were still sealed in the box. He doesn't back off. He adds that he often drives their daughter to daycare and supposedly found condoms in the car more than once. This is the kind of back and forth that makes producers and editors practically salivate. Peak courtroom drama.
Found a condom in the car.
I was using protection and it ain't no one else.
Do that. But she know I'm the one who take my daughter to daycare every morning. I'm the one get the dress, take the daycare every morning. Little dirty people couldn't even take the condom and throw it away.
If you found a condom in the car.
So wait.
I showed you.
It was a dirty
It
condom?
was a dirty condom. One of those just a pack
I don't agree with that because I didn't see it. He didn't show me nothing. He showed me a box.
But wait, another twist. Mr. Andrews says she told him just 4 months ago that there were 2 other possible fathers. Ms. Hale loses patience and calls it nonsense, explaining that any questionable behavior came from searching for emotional security, not from stepping out during the conception window. Judge Lake's eyebrow shoots up because this new claim shifts the entire timeline and the stakes.
But I apologize, Your Honor.
She told me 2 other men were dead.
His mouth,
which
from the time I wake up in
which
the
I
morning
already
till the time I
assuming
go
from
to
the
sleep
get-go
does
anyway.
not stop, and all he does all damn day is talk about how bad of a person that I am. So when I went out and cheated on him, it was to find security and comfort because
I know what comfort means.
Ms. Hale then clarifies she never claimed there were 2 other men. She only went along with his accusations to end the argument. She repeats with conviction that she wanted a boy, planned for one, and believes without a doubt that Mr. Andrews is Amarillo's father. The tension in the room rising by the minute.
Oh, you just said, okay. You didn't come to him and say, I want to tell you that there could potentially be 2.
There is no potential. He's the only one. As I stated, May 2014, when I got with him again, as in, let's work it out, we were planning to have a child because I wanted a boy. So why would I sleep around with other people?
Next, they start debating late-night phone calls and disappearing acts. He insists she used those moments to sneak out. She insists he literally barricaded the door, leaving her no other choice. The back and forth is non-stop, and Judge Lake keeps stepping in like a referee in sudden death overtime. The awkwardness is almost tangible.
And you got these little beautiful children. Beautiful. And from what I'm saying, I don't even know how you have time to make babies because you don't stop talking. If you're doing this in here, I can only imagine what you're doing at home.
That's why he's not in my home no more.
That's why I left the home.
No, he would not leave.
It ain't just your home. It was mine too, fool.
I don't even know where you all were at in this relationship when Amarillo was born. Like, so are you trying to work it
I was 8
out?
months pregnant.
Or are you?
Then the energy shifts. Mr. Andrews recalls being present for Amarillo's birth. For a moment, the conflict pauses. He remembers that day clearly, and Judge Lake doesn't let it slide. So you were there, she asks. That detail hits hard because being there matters, and you can see the emotion flicker across Ms. Hale's face.
He was there the whole pregnancy, took care, rubbed my back, feet, helped with the kids, helped keep the house clean, whatnot. But mentally, he wasn't a good.
So at the birth, did you go to the? So you were there at the hospital because you got to see her be born.
Pregnant, she was having.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Andrews.
Guys.
What?
Right. We can't leave that out. While she was pregnant, she was having the affair. And yes, I still stay with her.
Hold on. Slow down.
We also learn he was seeing someone else while Ms. Hale was pregnant. She explains her own questionable choices as attempts to find comfort and security during a painful period. The entire courtroom tone softens into something reflective. 2 people carrying receipts, regrets, and unresolved pain. Judge Lake brings them back to the task at hand, establishing the truth about paternity.
Yeah, she wouldn't tell the guy not to call back. I'm right telling
I can have friends, and it's not a
private call.
Like I said, there was only one person that I had friends
I couldn't have no friends.
For comfort and security, and he did have friends. He had tons of friends.
I had numbers and names.
I'm not going into detail.
Why do you need friends when you're having babies everywhere? You already had another baby.
Understandable. I couldn't have no woman friend, period.
So, Ms. Hadel, look, I want to know this.
The credibility showdown hits full speed. Both sides are accusing each other of lying about phone calls, conversations, even what was said the week before. It's a swirl of contradicting stories, and Judge Lake's patience is wearing thin. She's done with circles and half answers. You can almost hear the silent enough. Let's get to the truth. And with that, the tension climbs. It's time.
One of the guys was over a house where her brother just moved down there.
This is a friend I've never been sexual with, and he is talking about a friend being at my home.
Who you said was Amarella's father. It's a man
I've never been
who you know I
had
had
person.
contact with. They had physical contact with over this situation.
Because he's delusional. He's been sexual
you had
with
this man
person.
at the house where I just left from.
In her final push, Ms. Hale stands firm. She's not bringing any other men into this. Amarillo's his daughter. End of discussion. Mr. Andrews admits he's been battling doubt for a long time, but whenever Amarillo's name comes up, a softness breaks through. It's painful to watch. Love is clearly there, but the trust holding everything together has long since snapped.
I'm not bringing up any dirt. Like I said, I'm just responding to what he's saying, but I'm only here for Amarillo. So that's the only reason why I'm here. I'm not here to bring up dirt.
I'm only here because I got doubt.
I'm not here to bring up what he's done to me. I've been hurt.
I got doubt.
But regardless, Amarillo's his.
Look at
and I want to prove that to him.
Look at everything you've done. Why would I have doubt?
Members.
And then the moment everyone's been waiting for arrives. Judge Lake prepares to reveal the results. After everything this couple has dragged into that courtroom, emotion, accusations, and old wounds, it's finally time for clarity. Who is Amarillo's father? The drumroll practically writes itself.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Andrew, you are the father.
But buckle in, this story pivots hard. Imagine going to paternity court believing you created a family, only to have a relative show you a message that turns your world on its head. That's exactly what happened to Mr. Jordan. He says Ms. Heim misled him into signing the birth certificate for baby Caitlin, and now another man, Mr. Knight, could be the biological father. Judge Lake wastes no time cutting through the fog. This situation is messy, and she wants answers fast.
Mr. Jordan, you claim the defendant tricked you into signing her daughter's birth certificate and being a daddy. But 2 years later, you were told that another man is her biological father. You opened your case because you want DNA proof you are not the father so you can get your name removed from the birth certificate. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jordan lays out his side. Ms. Heim allegedly told him another man had already taken a DNA test and wasn't the father, so the baby must be his. He now believes she took advantage of his willingness to show up and provide. He's hurt, but focused. If Caitlin isn't his, he wants his name removed from the birth certificate. His frustration is so thick you could grab it out of the air. Messi doesn't begin to cover it.
That the other guy had done got a paternity test on Caitlin, because she told me, oh, he already got one, and you know what I'm saying? That's why I know it's just you. She tricked me into thinking that family was something sacred.
You believe she was intentionally deceitful?
Yes.
And what was her motive?
You know what? I have...
Ms. Heim admits she cheated, but insists Chris, Mr. Jordan, is Caitlin's father. She claims she only slept with one other man, one time, back in April, before discovering she was pregnant in June. Judge Lake's eyebrow practically does gymnastics. Her expression screams skepticism.
And I only had sex with one man when we were together, and I had sex with him one time, but we've been messing around for 7 years, and I never became pregnant. I met Chris, and all of a sudden I came pregnant, so I know Chris is the father.
So wait, you're saying that you were only having sex with one other man other than Mr. Jordan?
Just one time in April, and then I found out I was pregnant in June.
Then the emotional wave hits. Ms. Heim recalls Caitlin asking, "Does my daddy still love me?" And that breaks something open in Mr. Jordan. He talks about cutting the umbilical cord, running out for cravings at all hours, pickles, ice cream, everything. You can hear the pride in him mixed with heartbreak and confusion. It's raw, real, and heavy.
Because my daughter, she's old enough to realize she came and asked me, does my dad still love her? And that hurt me so bad.
She asked you, does my daddy still love me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, if I will, there's never been a moment where Caitlin...
Judge Lake leans in and asks the inevitable, so where did everything fall apart? Mr. Jordan explains that a family argument escalated until someone dropped a truth bomb. A relative suddenly blurted out, "Why haven't you told Chris he's not Caitlin's father?" And just like that, the phones came out. Photos, screenshots, everything. The tension spikes instantly.
So I'm real big on being a parent to my child. That, like, when this little girl was born, like, that would change my life. Like, that would did it for me. That's what made me start going in a positive direction. You know what I'm saying?
But this is what I don't understand. It was all going well.
It was, you know what I'm saying?
And so how does it go wrong?
This is where it goes wrong. Her and the family member gets into like an altercation or whatnot, like an argument. It wasn't even an altercation, an argument.
Those photos show the other man holding Caitlyn like she's his own. Cozy poses, captioned moments, and a resemblance that's hard to ignore. One look at Mr. Jordan tells the whole story. He's devastated, confused, and blindsided. You can feel the air in the courtroom tighten.
But as she was saying it, she pulls out the phone and she started showing me I could pull it up. I ain't gotta lie. It's what the family member tells me.
My family
and I'm like, that
messy. They're
my
messy.
mind.
They're messy.
What does she pull up?
She's jealous because Chris was a
pulls
good
up
person.
pictures of the other guy and my daughter, you know what I'm saying, like having moments together.
Judge Lake presses further. Why was Caitlyn sitting on that man's lap? Ms. Heim blames her family's messiness, admits she used to drop Caitlyn off on weekends, and then acknowledges that yes, there was a moment on that couch. Eyebrows sky high. It gets tense fast.
That time I did on that couch.
That time? So it's been more than one time?
No, that was the only one
Your
time.
Honor, I object.
What was your point of having the baby have this relationship with Santavius that he's calling her his baby?
I didn't tell him that. I told him I was pregnant.
Miss Heim, I'm gonna need you to tell me what the deal is.
With stories contradicting every minute, Judge Lake calls for clarity. Jerome, please bring in Mr. Sonia Knight. The man from the photos walks in, captioned King of Me and My Baby Kate, and he looks like someone who already feels emotionally attached. Cue the drum roll.
Thank you for joining us today. We are here discussing the paternity of Caitlyn.
Yes, ma'am.
And it has been brought to this court's attention that there are pictures of you with Caitlyn where you put in a caption that this is me and my baby Kate, where you are referring to this little girl as your daughter.
Yes.
Do you believe Caitlyn is your daughter?
Yes, that's my baby.
Mr. Knight reveals he genuinely believed Caitlyn was his. He recalls Ms. Heim telling him she was pregnant and implying Chris might not be the father. He even claims she promised to fix the birth certificate later. Ms. Heim shuts it down immediately. That's not true. The courtroom freezes. The silence is thick.
So how often do you see Caitlyn?
I see Caitlyn when he ain't got her, or the people who at the school ain't got her. So she gonna sit here and just keep the post line instead of being real and just tell the truth. You know what I mean? It's still gonna come out anywhere it go.
My baby.
If it come out anyway, they gonna tell you. The baby mine.
Like she crying.
You gonna sit here, you gonna have to apologize. This man gonna be crying. Still sitting here playing. Go on, tell the truth. Keep it real.
What is the plan, though? I mean, I realize now that there is a web of deceit, but I'm still not.
Judge Lake doesn't let it slide. Why the mixed messages? Ms. Heim denies ever telling Mr. Knight the baby was his, but those photos and captions, they paint a different picture. The tension hits peak reality TV levels. You could slice it with a butter knife.
So why did you tell Mr. Knight he was the biological
I did not. I
father?
said I was pregnant.
Where's he getting all these stories about making the birth certificate right and all of this?
I don't know. I called him when I found out I was pregnant and told him that I was pregnant.
Did you
So
tell him
after
you were
that-
going to make the birth certificate right?
I don't remember that, Your Honor.
But the conversation about the birth certificate would happen after Caitlyn was born.
Then Judge Lake turns to Ms. Heim and calls out the smirk. This isn't entertainment. This is a child's life. Finally, Ms. Heim cracks. She admits she does not know with certainty who Caitlyn's biological father is. A collective exhale sweeps the room. At last, truth.
Because you're the mother of a beautiful little girl, and you know she deserves more, and now I know why you know she deserves more is because you also deserve more and you didn't get it. Can we say in this moment that it is the truth that you do not definitively know which one of these men is her biological father? It's okay, because when you tell it, it can't hold you hostage anymore.
Steady and calm, Judge Lake reminds her, the truth sets you free. Then comes the moment of moments. Jerome, the envelope. Please? Hearts pound. Mr. Jordan leans forward. Mr. Knight braces himself. The whole courtroom holds its breath. This is it.
Spinning and lying and telling this person one thing and this person one thing, and your family members, you just keep calling them messy and they looking at you like you messy and everything's a mess. It can't hold you hostage if you set yourself free. So now you said it. Look at me. It didn't kill you. You still standing? I don't know.
And here we are, the moment everyone has been waiting for. After one of the wildest emotional rides this courtroom has seen, Judge Lake is ready to reveal the results. So, who is Caitlyn's father? Time to find out.
It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Jordan.
Imagine walking into paternity court only to discover there are 2 toddlers named Stephen Macon Jr., both connected to the same man. Ms. Puckett insists Stephen is her son's father. Ms. Glover, Stephen's on-again, off-again girlfriend, says her son is the real Junior. Judge Lake sets the tone immediately. 1 name, 2 children, and 1 man trying to sidestep accountability. Buckle up. This is about to get chaotic.
Ms. Puckett, you claim the defendant, Stephen Macon, fathered your child while in a relationship with his current girlfriend, Ms. Glover.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim you can prove he got you pregnant at the same time, and now you both have 2-year-old children named Stephen Macon Jr.
Yes, Your Honor.
Stephen denies everything right out of the gate, wearing a grin sharp enough to cut glass. He claims he and Ms. Puckett hadn't been intimate for months, says they used protection, then mumbles something about a malfunction. Sir, that's exactly how babies show up. Judge Lake catches the nervous energy instantly. When she learns Ms. Puckett has multiple children, Stephen tries to use it to deflect responsibility, but Judge Lake shuts that down fast.
3 months after, I wouldn't even have sex with her.
But you did have sex
Me
with her.
and Ms. Glover, we wasn't together at the time.
Did you use protection?
Yes.
You did?
But it was.
Okay, but there was a malfunction.
Right. Before we even had sex, 3 weeks after I met her, she got my
Go
name
right up there
tattooed
to
on
the
her
attic.
neck.
You got his name tattooed on your neck 3 weeks after
We ain't
you
even
met her?
had sex yet.
No.
Ms. Puckett calmly walks the court through their history, dates, gifts, time together, and then the moment she told him she was pregnant. She says Stephen was excited, rubbing her belly, acting completely involved. She even brings in a photo of him doing exactly that. And the body language? That's not the stance of a casual acquaintance. That's a man behaving like an expectant father. The drama is already thick.
So in your mind, what was this thing you all had?
Well, we was dating. He was treating me real good. He buy me stuff. He give me money when I needed it. He say if I needed anything, my kids anything, he'd do for him. When I was pregnant, he was rubbing on my belly like he was happy and he was concerned about it. And I have a picture of him rubbing on my belly when I was about 7 months.
Let me see that picture. Jerome, will you hand it to me, please?
Stephen tries the classic "she was seeing other people" defense, but he brings no evidence. Meanwhile, that belly rub photo lands like a bomb. Judge Lake zeroes in. If you truly thought she was with multiple men, why were you being so hands-on? The mood shifts. This isn't a man who barely knew her. This is someone present, engaged, someone with a stake. Things start unraveling quickly.
It's not my child. No, she was sleeping around with a whole lot of people. I know it.
Do you have any proof of that? Did you bring the court anything? Did you hear anything? Did you talk to someone? Did you see her? Did you catch her?
Yeah, my own friends, they used to spend the night over there. Like, it wasn't nothing.
Your friends used to spend the night over her house? Like
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Then Judge Lake gets serious about legacy. Naming a child after their father isn't casual, it's generational. Now there are 2 boys carrying the same name from the same man. That's not just confusion, that's a family tree crisis. Ms. Puckett ups the ante with a Facebook message from Stephen. He promises apologies, support, and, well, some activities we definitely can't quote. Let's just say it isn't the heartwarming apology you'd expect.
Saying that if it was his, that we all was gonna move in together. Yes, he did. He said me, her baby, and my kids, we all gonna move in together if it was his. Then he sent me another one, said if it was his, it come out to be his, that we was gonna make love to the sunrise.
Right, I said that.
So you have evidence of that?
I have one of the evidence.
Jerome, will you please hand that to me, please?
Stephen admits sending the message. No hesitation, yes, he wrote it. Judge Lake shifts focus to the birthday controversy. Ms. Puckett says Stephen demanded she notify the nurse and insisted the baby be named Stephen Macon Jr. She says the nurse witnessed the whole naming process and handled the paperwork just like hospital protocol requires. The room tightens. You could slice the tension like cake.
Is that a text you wrote, Mr. Macon?
Yeah, I wrote it.
Let's move forward from this. Take me to the day you actually gave birth. Was Mr. Macon there?
He came in, and he was looking at the baby, playing with my son. And then so he said, so what you naming him? I said, I'm naming him after my brother. I said, 'cause that's what my grandma want me to do. No, you're not. You're not naming him that. You're not naming him that. You naming him.
Stephen insists he took one look at the baby and left, convinced the child wasn't his. Claims he never signed anything and had other things to do. Judge Lake isn't buying it. Ms. Puckett fires back with paperwork. A certificate of live birth listing Stephen Terrence Macon as the father. She came prepared.
I stayed at the hospital literally, I don't even think it was 10 minutes. I looked at the baby. She asked me, what you want to name the baby? You gonna sign the birth certificate? I said, look here, I gotta go. I got some things I gotta do, and I left.
That doesn't even sound right.
Seriously, that's exactly what happened.
So when you looked at the baby, you felt like there's no way this is my child?
No.
And then you were done then?
Yeah, I was done. I was been
So
done.
you didn't sign a birth certificate?
Judge Lake reveals the court contacted the hospital directly. To be listed as father, you have to show ID, provide a social security number, and sign. There's no accidentally becoming the legal father. Stephen weakly suggests she forged it, but hospitals follow strict procedures. That confident grin, fading fast. This is top-tier courtroom chaos.
You know, this court understands that sometimes we get a little less than the truth from the plaintiffs and the defendants. So the court called the hospital in your home state where Ms. Puckett delivered, and their requirement is that a father, biological father, before signing a certificate of birth, must provide a social security number and sign the birth certificate.
Then Ms. Glover enters, Stephen's girlfriend and mother of the other junior. She firmly believes Ms. Puckett's child is not Stephen's. She launches into a full detective saga, suspicious calls, doorstep confrontations, and a dramatic door-knocking showdown. The reactions? Priceless. The whole courtroom is sparking.
Why?
Can I start from the beginning?
Please
Her
do.
sitting here saying that she didn't know about me, let me tell you, I was at work. I worked at a gas station, minding my own business. She sent some of her little friends up in there. I guess she heard my name but didn't know exactly who I was. I go home, I talk to him, I'm like, who is this precious girl that these folks came up to my job asking me about?
Ms. Glover says she tracked Ms. Puckett down, knocked like a security officer, and heard what she describes as backflips behind the door. Ms. Puckett says she didn't open because her kids were inside and the whole scene sounded wild. The triangle is officially in flames. Judge Lake keeps pulling the focus back. We're here for one reason. Who is this child's father?
I hear rumbling, doom, 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 doom. I hear folks doing backflips, body jumps, and everything behind the door, okay? Next
She
thing I
knocked
know,
on my door like she was
I said, I
security or
hear you.
something.
I said, I hear you. I said, open the door. Next thing I know, I heard click, click, the lock. She didn't hit the lock. She got smart, because I was about to walk up in there, but she got smart. I don't need no case. So she hit the lock. I'm like, I hear you in there. You might as well come out here. Your friend directed me to your house.
Judge Lake sees exactly what Ms. Glover is doing, trying to tear down Ms. Puckett's credibility at any cost. Then she pivots, turning her attention to Stephen. He's standing there with his hands in his pockets, as if he's somehow a bystander to the chaos he created. Judge Lake isn't fooled, and the tension spikes instantly.
Let's get some order. Let's get some
Literally
order.
an obsession.
So you were there.
It's sickening. You know, I've been with this man 6 years. I ain't never thought about getting no tattoo on me. You got 5 kids, but 3 weeks later, you go get a man tattooed on your back.
Miss Glover, she wouldn't have been prompted to fall in love enough to do something as silly as put his name on the back of her neck if he wasn't with her.
Then comes the small-town Wick office plot twist. Ms. Glover says a clerk accidentally opened another baby's record. A boy born July 4th, also named Stephen Macon Jr., with the father listed as Stephen Macon Jr. She storms outside to tell Stephen, who she says looks stunned and devastated. But Ms. Puckett calls his reaction fake, insisting he already knew and had already signed the paperwork. The contradiction is sharp, and the courtroom is buzzing.
That Miss Puckett's child was named Stephen Macon Jr.
Okay, let's talk about this. I go to the WIC office. We got a little local WIC office. Everybody know everybody. It's about 2 weeks. My son's probably about 2-3 weeks old. I go in there. He's there for his little checkup. They weigh him. They're about ready. They're entering his information in the computer. Next thing I know, the lady's like, oh, hold up, I made a mistake.
Judge Lake tightens her focus. With the text messages, hospital requirements, legal documents, and 2 toddlers carrying the same father's name, this court needs answers. Now, before revealing the results, she turns to Ms. Puckett and asks directly, do you have any doubt? Ms. Puckett says absolutely not. She wasn't with anyone else during the conception window. The room goes still. Time for truth. Drumroll activated.
Surprise.
Exactly.
To hear that she had named her child Stephen Macon Jr. So, Mr. Macon, was this the first time you heard this? That this child was named Stephen Macon Jr.?
Yeah.
First time in your life?
Yep.
You lying as the day is long. I can see that from here.
He already knew because he was there. He signed it. And ain't no nurse gonna let you sign no birth certificate. I can't just sit there and sign.
And here we are, the moment everyone has been bracing for. Judge Lake sets the stage, acknowledging this has been a wild, emotional ride. Now it's time for clarity. Who is the father of this child? The envelope is ready. Hearts are pounding. Let's find out.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Puckett versus Macon, when it comes to 2-year-old Stephen Macon Jr., It has been determined by this court in the case of Puckett versus Macon. When it comes to 2-year-old.
When the truth is revealed, Judge Lake doesn't hold back. She calls out the behavior, the smirking, the excuses, the total lack of accountability while 2 little boys carry his name and his confusion. Then comes the shift to compassion. She reminds them that resources exist, that communication matters, and that no matter how messy the past has been, the children deserve fathers who show up. It's raw, it's real, and it's heartbreaking. But at least the truth is finally anchored in paper and law.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Macon Sr., you are his father.